Warning, this episode contains strong language. I'm curious, what other influences outside of music inspire your music? You know, who or what, I don't know, place, a time, or this or that, something, not an artist, you know, not a musician, something else.
Oh, wow. Gosh, it can be something as simple as food.
Really? Love that.
Oh, yeah. That inspires me quite a bit. I put on a big pot of red beans and cornbread the other day.
Oh my God, sounds great. Yeah, like you haven't seen your friends after a while. They're like, wow, you look like you've been inspired lately. Welcome to the Lone Star Play Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Scott Armstrong. Join me and a famous guest. We discuss their career, life, food, Texas, and everything in between. Let's get started. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Lone Star Play Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Scott Armstrong. Okay, we are in episode 2 of season 3. Very excited to, of course, be back with y'all for the new year, as always. And very excited about this episode too. Our guest is Ruthie Foster. Who is that? She is an amazing musician and singer, Grammy nominated multiple times, blues. She has been compared to Aretha Franklin, Bonnie Raitt, somewhere in the middle there. Just an amazing musician, artist, and, you know, person. This interview I had with her was absolutely wonderful, to be honest with you. We sort of, you know, dig a little deep into songwriting and inspiration and, you know, everything during the lockdown, right? How that's affecting her. So, you know, she was just a wonderful person to speak to be honest with you. This is a wonderful interview. I really enjoyed it. Had a great time with her. And, it was a great interview. So really excited about it. Really excited for you guys to hear it. All right, before we get to the episode, want to go over a couple things with you about the podcast, of course. As always, don't forget, check out our new social media, okay? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Lone Star Plate TX, okay? And I think on Facebook, it's just the Lone Star Plate. But you'll find us. So the handles are Lone Star Plate TX. So please follow us, like us there, and so you can stay tuned with everything that we have going on and with any other additional post, stuff about just additional stuff. We're going to be posting on there and engaging, giveaways. You know, we got a great giveaway coming up. Very excited about it. So definitely go on social media and follow us and keep track of it all. That's how you're going to know. And also our YouTube channel, okay? Don't forget that's going to be changing soon, so go subscribe now. It's under Texas Real Food, which is our sponsor, and, you know, we're there. But we're going to be changing the name actually to the Lone Star Plate because it just takes some time to change the name for YouTube. So, you know, Texas Real Food will have their own channel. They're going to be moving to a different channel and starting fresh, and we're going to be taking over that channel and, making it all about the Lone Star Plate. We just got too big. It's growing. There's a lot of YouTube engagement, guys. So go on YouTube and check it out. There's clips, videos. You know, we do other stuff on YouTube. So really cool. A lot of good engagement. Really love it. So, yes, thank you as always. And speaking of Texas Real Food, don't forget to check out the Texas Real Food website, texasrealfood.com. As always, don't forget, you just put in your zip code, find all the cool places around you that are serving, you know, fresh, organic, all natural stuff. Great products that you can purchase and you have delivered, or a restaurant, maybe a butcher, maybe a cool farmer's market around you, just a cool store that's selling some cool stuff. It's really cool. Great way. Google doesn't really do it for you. I'm telling you, it doesn't really, or Yelp, it just brings up everything. So this sort of helps narrows it down. We've got a good filter system to make sure that the directory is representative of the best real food in Texas. All right. And, of course, they got all the other resources, guys, articles, recipes, all kinds of cool stuff on there. And it's free. Did I mention that? Free, free. That's the best part about that service. So, and of course, they take care of the podcast here, the Lone Star Plate. So, Texas Real Food. Check them out. All right. I think it's time we get to the episode. What do you think, Ruthie Foster? Yeah? It's a great episode. Hope you enjoyed the last one we had last week with Sam Acho. It's a great episode as well. We continue with a wonderful episode to take you into the weekend. So Ruthie Foster, please enjoy.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I am well. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Perfectly.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I needed headphones or earplugs for this or not.
Whatever works best for you. Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. Cool.
Love this background. Love those guitars.
Oh, yeah. It's,
you play those? Are they more for...
No, I play them.
You play them. Okay.
Mostly I play the... that's Pearl. She's made in Canada. And she's a Godin for the French.
Oh, listen to you. Wow. Okay, we're going to learn something here. I love this.
Hey, I'm liking you. Yeah, I love that Texas flag back there.
Love it. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love this flag too. This had to get it up somehow,
Yeah.
Show the love.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Ruthie, for joining us today. Gosh, I can't tell you how excited I am to listen to you. Just hear about your story and ask you some questions. This is going to be a great episode. I've been listening to your music and reading just a little bit about you and learning, and you have such a phenomenal you've had such a phenomenal journey, in your life and what you've managed to accomplish in music. And it's just absolutely wonderful to have you on, and hopefully we can learn something here. So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. You got me up. I had to get my coffee. I had to get my coffee on early this month. This is early for me during, the pandemic early, quarantine early.
I get it. Trust me. I totally get it. To be frank, I don't even schedule like the times and stuff. So I'm with you. We could have pushed it a little further. I'm with you. I get it. Trust me. I'm at all hours. It's everything's running together. I don't even know what day it is. It's like,
I tell you, yeah.
Right. Well, so how have you been handling? Yeah, let's just jump into that. How has the pandemic been for you here?
It's been interesting. It's been both. It's been rough for me and the band. We're all trying to keep ourselves together, keep our mortgages paid and rent paid.
Yeah.
I think one of my band members is having to move from an apartment this week or next week sometime because of the situation, so, and that's tough.
Sorry to hear that.
When you got kids and you're just trying to make it yourself. And it's been a blessing in some ways too, because, I get a chance to be with my kiddo. She's 9.5. She reminds me. 9.5. Just in case she catches this.
Yeah.
She's a handful, and it's great getting a chance to be around her and get a chance to, pick her up from school. They started back into school physically in the classrooms just around a little bit after Halloween. So that's been kind of cool to actually get a chance to just drive up and, jumps in the car and tells me about her day. And when we went into quarantine, she had to, like every other school kid, learn from home. So I got a chance to jump back into 4th grade again and be a 4th grader. So that was, in fact, I felt more like her assistant,
That is funny.
Because she's got her little, they have these little Google books or whatever, the little laptops that they use. And she had a class at every hour, right? And then she has a break, and I had to remind her, okay, you have lunch at 11:40. And, basically.
She's all, hey, can you reschedule my 4th period?
Exactly.
Because, right.
Yeah. I remember specifically one time she had a teacher's conference, and I said, I can get you out of that one, but we're going to move on. I found myself being her assistant.
I love a phone call comes in. She's like, tell them I'm not here. Okay.
Yeah,
that is so funny.
I'm working on something here.
I'm working on something. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is yeah. It is interesting that you say, how it has been devastating, but at the same time there's been some blessings. I've found the same thing where it's been a double-edged sword, if you will, where there have been some positives, or at least I'm trying to find the positives, right? And what's going on, I think, more than anything as well. But yeah, that's great to hear about spending more time, with your daughter. That's a blessing for sure. There's no doubt about that. So the band is you guys are anything lined up potentially coming up? Because I know some places are having some stuff and some people are, right. It's all up in the air, but.
Yeah, it is. There's definitely a lot in the air, and a lot I had to drop even for next year. I had February, half of February already planned, but I dropped a lot of those because it was, to me, it was too much of a risk for certain members in my band because they've been compromised, their respiratory system and
sure.
That kind of thing. I just don't want to do that to them. And just it's a business that we're in here, music business, and so the fees change because of the capacity of these venues change, and it's a hard decision to make for me, but sometimes because of that I had to just forego those until we're back in the full back into full charge here, maybe
sure.
a year after next. I've got 2 shows set for January, and one's here in Texas in I want to say the Woodlands, the Do-Si-Do. We're going to try to go to Do-Si-Do, and I think another one in Louisiana. Yeah, we're going to try to go there. So yeah.
Well, something, right? I mean, right. There's something there gosh, this is devastating, right?
But see, the other thing is I'm trying to get a record together. I'm trying to write new songs and we're trying to get those recorded. So the band and myself, we're trying to keep our time, keep our priority try to get some things recorded. And I'm hoping to get into the studio around January, February, and get these new songs recorded and get ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So how long have you been working on these particular tunes that you plan on releasing?
We've all been working on these songs for at least a year. I know the top of the year is when I started writing.
Okay.
And last year.
So you start fresh? You start fresh when you're going to do like an album like that? You don't ever like hit back some stuff from the vault or anything, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. She's like,
I want to put that kind of pressure on myself.
Right.
Really? Oh no, it's a handy thing to have my little phone with me. I get a chance to just, dig through there for ideas, and that's awesome. I found some things that I was able to finish in that, with that method. A lot of the guys, though, they wrote some things that was just fresh. And nice. I'm very envious, of them being able to do that.
That's
so we've
awesome.
got some really fine stuff that's about to come out. Hopefully some of that will be featured in the Austin City Limits show that we did, because we just taped one of those. And so we did a couple of new songs for that. So we'll see. Yeah.
Nice. What when you say fresh, what does that mean? Let's even give it even more specific. Let's say like your avid fan right now of you is listening to this, and you say that. What are they like? Their mind's probably like, what does that mean? Let's just talk to them quickly. What would that mean exactly in that case?
Yeah. Well, new songs that can be specifically written for this project. That's
well, I mean, like type of like the beats are different, or what is there more? I don't know, instrumentation. What is different about it to you?
Okay, yeah. I have written most of my own records myself. and
Okay.
and then the band learn the tunes when we do them live.
Sure.
Because I usually, when I bring in a producer, I want to hear their sound with my songs. And
Interesting.
so usually they'll
I
bring
like
in
that.
their camp of people, their musicians. Um, and then the fellas, basically learn these tunes, because here's the thing. Most of my guys are uh, independent songwriters and producers themselves. So they're usually pretty busy with their own material, putting out their
Gotcha.
own records. So we all come together and they do my stuff when I put out an album. So a lot of the material that's out are songs that I've written myself. So by fresh, these tunes that we're doing for this one are coming from them, and it's just a different sound. There's some reggae coming from my guitar player, Mr. Haddon Sayers from Nacogdoches, Texas. Uh,
Love it.
yeah, he's got some reggae grooves going with his stuff. Scotty Miller, my keyboardist, lives up in Minneapolis. He just sent me something that's got a rap in the middle of it. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with that.
Yeah.
Love it.
But you love the challenge.
Yeah. So we're
Love
going to have
that.
to figure that one out. I may have to call someone in for that part. I don't know. But Scotty does pretty
Hey,
good.
that's not a bad idea. A little
Yeah,
collaboration, right? That's kind of cool.
I think so. We may end up doing, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're bringing up some really good points. They're all very different. Larry Fulcher, my bass player, who's played with Taj Mahal. He's played with everyone. Leon Russell, the Phantom Blues Band.
Wow.
Larry's written some incredible, sexy, Sly and the Family Stone groove type
Wow.
songs. So
Wow.
we've got some real fun stuff coming, and
That's awesome.
it'll be great to just put a lot of those different tunes and genres. Really, we're just kind of touching on different genres with this new record, so I'm excited. Very
Yeah,
excited.
absolutely. Well, it's like one, you've had this great career, so you're at a point where you're like, I can do this. I can bring from here and here and here. It's time to start. Like as a, I'm a cook, right? So like as a cook, like you want to, right? The better you get and the more experience, the more you can start playing around with different stuff and seeing what works. And that's when like some real stuff can, start to happen. It's something you couldn't have done, let's say 30 years ago, right? Or 20 years ago, which is cool. I think that's cool. That's a different, type of thing to do. Plus all these guys, like you said, they're creative on their own. So they've got their own, machines working, right? Their own stuff, and they're all bringing it together. I love it. This is awesome. There's a lot of different flavors. This sounds great. I'm
Yeah,
excited for you.
it is.
I'm
It's,
really,
you mentioned the word flavor. That's a lot of flavor
yeah,
happening
a
with
lot of
this.
flavor. I'm all about flavor. I'm all about, I cook. So it says flavor. Everything's flavor to me. Everything. Oh man, I love this. I love that. So, you talk about you were writing all your songs yourself before, right? And this is something I love to talk to
With a few
musicians that
covers.
come on.
I've done a lot
Yeah,
of
of course, of course. But you definitely sit down and write a song. And I'm always curious how the people's process, because everyone everyone that's come on and I speak to, they all have a different process. I love hearing the way they sort of attack a song. So I'm curious. I'm sure you have maybe a few different ways, but I'm curious. Yeah, let's just start there. How do you attack like writing a song, the birth of a song? I call it. Like, what? How does that work for you?
Oh, wow. Well, I start with both. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my phone's going.
Please don't worry about it.
Uh,
Zoom. This is it.
oh,
This is it. This is it.
yeah. I can start with a title. I've started with a groove. Today is my day to actually be in the studio, my home studio here, and just try to come up with something from nothing. I always I pick a day to try to just do that, just start from whatever, wherever I can find that spark. But a lot of my tunes, I have to tell you, it's really just about picking up an instrument, whether it's the guitar or sitting down at my keyboard, my piano, or just even when I can pick up my bass sometimes and just find a groove I'm about that. I'm about groove first and see what comes up. Just sit and pick. And honestly, I haven't had a chance to do much writing because I've had it wasn't an accident. I think it was just one of those things that happens when you get to wise age. I'll put it that way. You get wiser. Something happened with my thumb. And so my thumb's been in a brace. I had a subluxated thumb. It's trying to dislocate.
Oh, gosh.
So I've had that issue and went and saw a doctor, and basically he just told me to just stay off of it for about 6 weeks. So I haven't been able to play.
Sure,
So
of course.
I tried to play a few times and realized, need a little more time.
You're like, this ain't gonna happen. There's no one-handed instruments, right? What a harmonica, maybe, I guess. I don't.
Yeah, you could do that. You could actually.
I guess that's it.
I could play.
I guess piano. I guess a little bit, right? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I was able to just kind of pick a few things with one hand, but really,
sure. I mean, you can hit you can hit some chords, right? I mean,
yeah,
or tinker around. Yeah.
Add a few things to tunes that are already, I've already.
Started. Okay, I see. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
I've been able to do that, and just basically exercise my lyrical side of songwriting.
Yeah.
Just write more. I can write with the brace on. So yeah, so that's been an exercise for me. But yeah, usually groove is where I come from. I even have a book, I'm sitting here and I've got my little practice book, it's just to sit and practice scales.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Practice jazz chords, just going from chord to chord.
So you're always like in that sort of mode as well. Like you're always trying to keep up, right? Like that's cool to know.
Absolutely.
You would think, some people probably think, oh, you get to, you just stop learning in a sense, or
That's okay. I ain't mad at them. That's good. It just don't work for me. I have to do something. People that know me, my good friends that know me and my family, they know I'm in here doing something. I remember when my kid was doing her online lesson and she had her little Zoom call with her class, and I was in here just going through some scales, just practicing. And that turned into writing a tune and to put some chords together, and then eventually turned into me singing. And I turned around in the middle of what I was doing, and she's got the computer up and she's showing her entire class.
Oh, oh wow.
Yeah, this is my yaya. She calls me yaya. This is my yaya. My yaya's practicing.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh my gosh.
I've been caught by a 4th grade class practicing. So yeah.
Hey, that's good. You showed them. Yeah, you still do it. It's like running laps or working out, right? Like you're right.
It's a muscle. It is a
there
muscle.
You go.
You've got to work it out. And like my voice teacher told me a long time ago, the voice is a muscle, and you've got to keep it going. This quarantine has been a huge lesson, I'm sure, for a lot of us musicians, where it's okay to rest and take advantage of that. That is the blessing behind being off too. It's good to just kind of not have to drag a suitcase around for another week and a guitar. And really just exercise that writing muscle while you're home too. For me, it was about learning how to write songs without, with no time constraints. Because I've started songs on the road in my phone, or I've, you try to do a little bit of writing when you're moving around, but when you're home, it's interesting. I got to tell you, it gets a little tricky for me because I, like many people, love my Netflix. You find a new series, Crown, and you just got to finish it. Once you start it, you have to finish it. So it's hard to tear yourself away from Netflix and Amazon Prime, all of that. And
That's good to hear that you have, it's nice to hear you have that problem too.
yeah,
You know,
it's not a problem until it turns into one.
right. You know what it is? It's the autoplay for the next episodes.
See, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing because it starts and you're like, well, I guess I'm going to sit through it. You know?
Yeah.
One more.
Okay. One more.
One more.
Yeah.
That's going to be on my grave. One more. That's his last words is one more. Yeah. Gosh, that's so crazy. I totally look, a lot of people are going to empathize with you here. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yeah. The other thing I've done too, I guess we'll get back to the, what are you doing since, with the quarantine is I think I've rewritten my mission statement, my goals about 5 times now. It changes,
Yeah.
I ordered these books from Amazon and, I'm going to sit and write my goals. This is a good opportunity to, figure this out. What's going to happen in the next 6 months, next year, the next 3 years, next 5 years. And I've rewritten them about 5 times now. I know. And then you order another book, with a calendar. And I'll tell you the trick to that is to order the calendars where you write in the dates and write it in pencil because you're going to change it. It's going to change.
Good advice. Good advice.
And it's good to change. You realize, okay, well, yeah, I didn't get that done. It's like confession. You go to these planners and it's like, all right, well, okay. That's before I have said I didn't finish that project.
Oh man. Oh gosh. I totally get that too.
Yeah. By the quarter calendars. Don't get the year calendars. Just do it by the quarter.
There you go.
3 months. And then, okay, you didn't get that done. Pitch that one in that order another one and start over.
Oh man. It's just one of those years. Look, everyone gets a free pass this year, no matter what. That's just right. No matter what's happening. And look, it's not fair either. It's tough to decide what's going to happen in the future and plan around it and decide your goal, right? Like it's almost impossible at this point to sort of, gauge that. So no, that's kind of funny.
Because of the circumstances, with we just didn't know what was going to happen the next week to the next month, and things just kept changing and getting pushed back. And God bless these teachers and who are and the first responders first of all,
hospital staff, right, nurses, right, absolutely, 100%.
So many people that just having to step up, and it's something to watch. I gotta tell you.
They didn't ask for it, right? They didn't ask for this, and they've got to step up. And it's not like, hey, step up for a weekend. Hey, step up for a week. It's been like, hey, step up for, at this point, it's been how long? 9 months. It's not looking like it's right. It's still going to be much longer. It's unbelievable, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right. It'll be a while, So it is the new norm. I was listening to a broadcast that talked about how we have people who are in the IT industry are working from home, and they're saying, this is just the way I'd like to do this. They're not even wanting to go back and, even when they can.
That's a good point.
And I think that's something to look at, because I think one fellow's reason was because he had a window at home, and otherwise he would be in a cubicle.
Sure.
In this
I can respect that. Right.
He just wanted to be able to work from home, at least part-time, because he can get up and actually get some daylight. And, I think that what's happening is we're starting to see the humanity side of ourselves. It's this, we're getting this this chance to really look at ourselves and look at our lives. And, we were talking about just now about setting goals, we're getting a chance to really just stop and figure out who you are and what do you really want to do. And I've done the same thing, especially when it comes to what I do with music and travel. And I've talked to musicians that come from both sides of music, wanting to get back out and wanting to get back in. Who was it? Lisa Morales was telling me, I just miss being in hotels. I mean,
that's hilarious.
I get that. You don't have to make your bed. You can order food. You've got cable. Go down for breakfast.
Yeah. What's not right? Yeah. What's not to like here? That is hilarious.
I get that. And then there's some who they just miss playing and they miss that connection that you get when you're standing in front of people and you
I've heard that the most on this podcast, for instance. That's what I've heard the most.
It's immediate, right? You have this connection is you get to just stand there and just plug in to all of this emotion.
Wow. And that's a great way to put that.
Oh yeah, but because that's what it is for me. I get a chance to just, leave the hotel and don't worry if you left the iron on or anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes that sneaks in though, but you're up there and you just get a chance to just, here we are, let's connect. And it just lights up your everything. You hit that first chord and you see that first, that one person standing in front of you, I came here just to hear that song. You feel that, that connection that I miss. Wow. I miss that too. I do.
It sounds like you do. The way you just described that. I mean, I wish you could see your face. Like I could tell you really miss that, to be honest with you.
I am present when I'm in front of people. I do my best to stay present because I owe that. I owe that to you when I'm standing in front of you. You may, as an audience, as a fan, be standing there and you have been through so much. And so you just want that opportunity to stand in front of this amazing person who's doing incredible things with their gift, and you just want to forget about what you've been through just for that 3 minutes or that 5 minutes and then 90 minutes. And
wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, I get it. And when they come to the, a fan, they come to the CD table and they're just so grateful that you gave up your time, that you got up at 4 a.m. to catch a flight, to get all the way, all of that. You see that. And that's important. It's important to have that exchange. I've had people stand at the CD table and they just can't even speak. They just
really, wow.
Just stand there and there's tears rolling and they can't even speak.
Wow.
That is the power of music and the power of what we do. And it's our responsibility to when we get a chance to stand in front of our fans to be present,
Yeah.
This is an incredible, important gift that we have. So yeah, it's about respecting that.
I love that. That's so awesome. You say all that, like as a fan, right? Like that's so great to hear. Because it just means you're investing, right? And that makes the fan want to invest more in you, to be honest with you. Right. And it's just being you. It's just you being you and being real and appreciating it. And that's awesome. That's so cool.
It's
so wonderful to hear. Yeah, that's so wonderful to hear. Ruthie, I'm curious about, a musician will always say what musical influences they have. I'm always curious. That's great. because you can read that a lot, and that definitely influences you, I'm sure, as a musician, and such a multi-awarded musician as yourself. But I'm curious, what other influences outside of music inspire your music? Who or what? I don't know. A place, a time, of this or that. Something. Not an artist. Not a musician. Something else.
Oh wow. Gosh, it can be something as simple as food.
Really? Love that.
Oh yeah, that inspires me quite a bit. I put on a big pot of red beans and cornbread the other day.
Oh my God, sounds great. Yeah, like you haven't seen your friends after a while. They're like, "Wow, you look like you've been inspired lately." Yeah.
Oh yeah, I continue to be. I get inspired quite a bit.
Yeah, I love it.
Quite a bit. That's why, I'm not gonna stand up. You ain't gonna see me stand up. No, I'm gonna sit right here. This is all you get, right here.
Oh my God, I'm crying. I'm literally the tears coming out here. Oh my God.
Okay. Well, I don't know. That's a really great question. What are some of the answers that you've been getting with that question?
I never asked that question before, to be honest with you. Yeah. I mean, I have, I guess, a couple of times. It's more just like, a movie, a family member, the way they're living, the travels they've had.
Okay. Yeah.
That sort of thing. But food is an interesting. I mean, we talk about food on this podcast, so that's a great answer, in my opinion. I would honestly like to further explore that, because I think food can inspire you to be creative, or inspire you to do something, right? If you do the right thing, or while you're making food, just during that process.
It is definitely cooking for me, and because I don't get a chance to do that being a traveling musician. It's very rare when my band and myself will get a chance to be in one spot long enough for us to actually get together and have a kitchen and cook and all of that, and break bread together. It's a big deal. I grew up in a atmosphere, family atmosphere that did that. So that's important. But it's a cooking process. I always have music on while I'm cooking. In fact, I just got back from camping with my girlfriend. We were over in Los Maples. Is it called Los Maples? It was over in near Lakey, and just past Kerrville.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just the area, Utopia, around in that area. There's this area where maple trees aren't indigenous to Texas; they were brought here, and so there's this one area where there's just this huge concentration of maple trees. And it's where a lot of people go to watch the foliage in Texas. Yes, Texas has foliage. But it's a beautiful area. And we were over there camping. And we call it camping. We were in cabins, and they had a cute little kitchen, very basic, but there was just something wonderful about being able to put on a little bit of jazz music and just cook. We brought lots of food in, and we had the grill going outside. It's just something about preparing something. It's all about the prep. I think it's what I love.
Yeah.
Sometimes just a podcast, something to listen to. What's NPR or you name it. I like learning something, so I'll put a podcast on while I'm cooking.
Love that.
It's the process. I love the process. I like making tea. The reason I love tea, I like tea, I like coffee. I don't know, this is a weird segue. Hang with me. Wait
I'm
for
with
it.
you. I'm with
with coffee, it's one thing. You pour the water in, you put the cup in, you got the machine, yada yada yada. But with tea, it's about the pot. Put the water in the pot, put the pot on the fire, then you wait. It's about waiting. It's the process of having tea that I love, and that chance to stop, which is probably why, there's tea time,
100%. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop, take a breather. Hey,
Yeah, it is that for me. But yeah, cooking is that. It's just about the process, and you get a chance to just kind of, you put ingredients together, and then that's it. Baking. You have to wait. It's just about that. That's inspiring for me. Gosh, that was a weird segue, but
it totally fits in with our podcast. So this is,
yeah,
it fits
yeah,
in.
that's inspiring. Movies. I mentioned watching
Yeah.
TV, but I love
Me
the
too.
idea of coming up with tunes, for something that just moved me.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Love
I've done
that.
that. That's a great way to write. Just have some kind of inspiration about something you just watched. What did that do? How did that move you? Try to
Yeah.
write something to that. Yeah, I have done that. Gosh, that's a
That's cool.
great question, though.
It's going to make you think about it now, right? Like what influences you and what inspires you around you, right?
Yeah,
Like, which I'm sure in some sense, right? Like everything could in some sense, right? Be it small or large, but I'm sure every little thing, it's the weather, right? If you
yeah,
had a good night's sleep or not, if things are going well with your daughter in school and that, right, bills paid, this, that. I can imagine that there's just always something pulling away from inspiration or adding to it,
yeah. Definitely. I mean, it could be just a fact of avoiding something. That's a reason to write. I've
That
done
too.
that. Yeah,
Wow.
we've all done that. While you're writing, I remember writing a specific song. I think it was called Crossover from one of my early albums. I remember sitting and wanting to finish this tune. But I remember also while I'm writing, oh, I should have, I'm supposed to be washing dishes right now. I'm supposed to be cleaning my house. Um, that kind of thing. There's always that avoidance that brings me to this room. And that's okay too. As long as you're not forgetting to pick your kid up from school, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
I mentioned the goals, setting goals, and having a planner. I actually, I try to plan, like I said, one day in the week to just sit in here. And if I end up just watching YouTube videos, it's something, because trust me, something about that is going to inspire you
Sure.
to want to pick up a guitar, or let me go back and listen to that tune. Let me go back in I have Logic Pro here, and so let me go back into Logic. That was this tune I started. You find yourself just kind of, you kind of needle over to where you find yourself being creative. It's a great way to just get those juices going. Just
Yeah.
sitting there watching. Actually, I put that in my planner as well. Okay, well, Thursday I'm going to spend 10 minutes just watching a YouTube on photography, anything, just name it. So
Love
yeah.
that. Visually, maybe it gives you something, right? Yeah. Love
Mhm.
that. That's cool.
Yeah, there's
That's
so many
cool.
different ways.
Is it hard to, like when you're writing a song, right, and you don't complete it in that moment? I'm sure that's pretty rare. I don't know, probably, right, from start to finish to sit down and write a song. So when you come back to a song, is it hard to get back into the energy of that song? If you've left it and have to keep coming back to it, or is it pretty easy to just sort of pick up where you left off?
That's difficult for me. Yeah, I will say that, because I have finished songs that have been sitting around for years, and I've found my way back to them.
Yeah.
Uh, I do that quite a bit. I've got tons of starters on my phone right now. Quick Voice. It's what I use. Yeah, that can be a little tough. But there's some songs, if you go back to them, you know, you just keep going back to it. You know, spend about 3 days. Just, you know, set your timer for like 10 minutes. I'm going to spend 10 minutes on this. And you spend 3 days, 10 minutes, and you figure out real quick that you get a little bit further along than you thought you would.
That's
yeah.
cool. That's
For me,
cool.
it's about time. I set a timer.
Wow,
You know?
really?
Me and Siri, we were like this.
Yeah.
She got me. She got me when it comes to time. I'll just sit here and I'll just, you know, I won't do it because she's listening.
Yeah.
Oh, it's listening.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll
I like that. Disciplined. You're disciplined about it in a way.
Maybe is it really that may be what it is. I think it's discipline, and it's something about just competing with myself.
Have you always been this way?
Yeah, I guess I have. Is that weird?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just didn't know if it was something over time you developed, or like, nope, I've always written this, you know, this is just how I've always done it.
Yeah, pretty much. Not every time, but for the most part. I think it's about the discipline that I got from I went to school. I studied music. I studied over in Waco, a commercial music program. And it's really about the discipline of it. And even going further back than that, studying piano. I had piano lessons from 5th grade on through high school.
Oh, really? Was piano the first instrument, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, piano was
Wow.
my first instrument. My grandmother, Big Mama, we called her. Big Mama was having it no other way. If I was going to play an instrument, it would have to be God's instrument. That's what the piano is for her, you know.
Love that.
Baby, you're going to start with gospel music if you want to take music. So I had no choice. It was piano. I wanted to start with guitar. In fact, I think I went to her and my mother wanting to learn the guitar first, because I grew up in that era where TV was, watching TV, everyone had a TV variety show. They had a variety show. Mac Davis, variety show, John Denver, Olivia Newton-John, Glenn Campbell. Remember the Midnight Special? That was my show, Midnight Special. Everybody had guitars. So I wanted to learn guitar. I went to my grandmother, I went to Big Mom and said, I just want to learn guitar. And she stopped me. Yeah.
She didn't even let you get the rest of it out, right?
So
I love that.
She got together with my mother, and they decided that it was going to be piano first. And if I was still interested in the guitar, they would consider that. So yeah, that's
that's a compromise. I mean, that's something, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You're like, nah, it's a hey, but it probably helped, right? Maybe in retrospect.
Absolutely, it still does every single day. Everything's based off of the piano.
Yeah.
So I found that out in school, music school, when I thought I was going to learn. Oh, I want to learn saxophone. You learn any sax. It's about transposing it. And you're back to the piano to do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no getting away from that. But yeah, I took piano. And what my big mama and my mother did not know was that my piano teacher, her husband played guitar. And so I'd walk over with my little book, across the tracks, because, I come from this little small town where black people lived on one side of the tracks and white people lived on the other side of the tracks. And was this white woman that lived across the tracks. So I had my little book and I crossed the railroad tracks and, go over there to the white part of town and learn my little piano lessons. Wow. And Kathy, her husband, would come in and he would play guitar, and he would teach me guitar after my piano lesson. So I got a 2-for-1 deal in the
Nice.
same household. Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. So,
And you started singing right away, or how did you know about singing, or, how did that
that's
work
all
its
church.
way in?
Yeah, that's church. Everybody
Yeah.
sung in church. And in fact, in church, singing your own solo was a rite of passage. Everybody, you got to a point where you sung a solo.
Okay.
Yes. Usually teenage, 13, 14, you're going to sing. And
so you're all by yourself. I mean, that's your it's your spotlight moment in front of the whole church.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, was that nerve-wracking for you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody went through that.
Yeah.
Everybody, every cousin. I grew up with let's see. I know it's over 20 cousins. There was a big family.
Wow.
My mother was one of 9 kids, and my grandmother, oh my gosh, there may have been nine, maybe 10 of them. And so I grew up with a lot of kinfolk, and watching all the cousins one by one, get to that point. You didn't necessarily have to stand out front, but you got to this point where you can stand in the peripheral of the choir and sing something. But yeah, I had to do a solo, and I remember being so I knew I would probably just pass out. Maybe I'll just pass out and I can get out of it that way. Yeah, because I grew up a really shy kid, and so doing a solo, even in front of my own kinfolk, just didn't gel well with me.
That's crazy. That's so crazy. Look at where you are now, right? Like,
yeah.
How did you overcome that? How did that, or is that still something you struggle with?
I have days, where I struggle with it. Yeah, I think I was talking to my daughter about that and explaining to her, you never really lose the butterflies.
Yeah.
Well, it was someone told me if you ever lose that, then you're in trouble. You need to, you might want to do something else. There's
Interesting.
There's a difference between the confidence, though. It's a confidence that knowing that you won't pass out, you'll be fine. You might hyperventilate. That's okay. There's a way to get through that. Breathe is what gets you through that. I still get butterflies, but that's excitement. I had a great voice teacher that taught me that. Lorna McDonald. She was so hard on me, but now, I know why. I know why she was. She saw something in me that was, I was very driven, and she spotted that right away. And so she pushed me. Yeah. One of the things she pushed me past was stage fright. And that was the main thing, was just to remember that feeling that you get, that the butterflies, is energy. That's really all it is energy. Take that energy and move it through your voice, through even just movements, movement on stage. Sometimes it's just about moving on stage and breathing. Don't forget to breathe.
Yeah.
You will. But it's okay, it's okay to have that feeling. That feeling it's just energy. So use it, harness that. Yeah, I still get it. I still get I still get a little nervous before going on, but a lot of it is just excitement.
Sure.
These days.
Absolutely. I love that you use you sort of use that energy on, turn it on itself, if you will, right? And and use it in the show. That's awesome. Yeah, that's because you've been through so much. It's and you've been nominated and won so many awards, and you're in the Austin Music Award Hall of Fame, and I'm sure other stuff. I mean, there's so many things to mention, right? It's like I do another intro, so don't worry. I'm going to go over all that stuff at the beginning for you. That's what I do. That's my hype time. At the beginning, I do that, for every show. But and that's, gosh, yeah, you've just been through so much. I'm curious what is there any award for you that sticks out in particular, or a nomination or anything? I mean, you were nominated 3 times for Grammy for Best Blues Album, which is ridiculous. So
Yeah.
like, is that it, or are there other ones? Or I'm curious, what was like,
gosh,
all of it?
yeah, it's
I'm sure
all
to some
really,
extent.
it really is a lot of it, all of it, really. I guess, if I have to pick one though, it would be the 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 Blues Foundation Awards that used to be called the Handy the Handy Awards, WC Handy, but those mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
The Grammy means a lot. The Grammy nominations definitely, it's just huge being recognized in that way.
Sure.
That's just a whole nother.
And 3 times.
Fourth.
It's like
fourth.
fourth. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
Ruthie.
Pleasantly.
Oh my goodness. Amazing.
Pleasantly surprised. Yeah. So that, it's great to be honored in that way, because I have an idea how many entries they get. It's a lot, I'm sure. So
yeah. Of course. Yeah, it's not a small number by no means.
I just got to sit and listen to all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all mean so much to me, though. Just to be recognized in that way is just a blessing, So yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah,
I'm grateful. I love I love all of the nominations that I've gotten from the Grammys have been really special. This last one has been really, really special for me. However, because I got a chance to do something that I'm not even sure a lot of my fans knew I could do, and that's sing in front of a big band with horns and a rhythm section. And even towards the end of that particular live show, this is the
Paramount
live at the Paramount.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the show, I did a couple of jazz tunes, jazz standards. And that was just so much fun for me, because that's what awesome. I did in the Navy band.
Yeah. When I was that's right. You were in the Navy. That's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's what I said. You have such an incredible journey. Wow.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. I'm just one of those, I say yes when something comes, it's something presents itself. It's just something different and challenging. I like to challenge myself. What is it that some wise person said? Do something that scares you every day.
Yeah. Wow.
Just do something.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. I like to say yes to things. I like, they did this experiment one time. I don't know the whatever details of it exactly, like who did it or whatever, but I remember the experiment where it was just based off of, they would get these people walking down the street, and this person would have an issue with their car, or not a car, about a car, but the car isn't physically there. So they're just walking up to people on the street and stopping them and presenting an opportunity to go with that person, right? So a yes or no situation. And the people that said no, right, just went about their day and kept going. But the people that said yes, that ended up turning into something really good for them. That they help this person, they get an opportunity or, whatever, and it led to something. And it showed like the people that said no, right, you're missing out on these, right? I mean, it's a small thing, but the idea behind it is very much of that. So I find myself thinking the same way a lot of times of, go to that, Patrick, say yes, go do it. And then it always works out. You meet somebody, network, or something comes out of it that's a benefit, or it just got you out of the house, or, wow, that was just so great to meet these people or meet this person or have this great conversation. And I just think that's such a wonderful attitude to have.
It is. It's those little bitty things that ends up being something
Something.
It may not be what you think it's, and that's not the other thing. It may not lead you to where you think you were going to go.
Good point.
Because all it takes is it's like flying or sailing. It's just 1 degree off, and you are somewhere totally different. You just stay that course at 1 degree. So it's the same thing. One thing. And I used to walk around. I moved a lot when I first moved to Austin. I moved every couple of years, just renting and just trying to. I really wanted to just be able to live in different parts of Austin, just to experience it. Really, was what it was about. And I remember taking my little. When it came time to tear down my studio, I had a little Post-it, and it got to where it wouldn't even stick. You keep a Post-it too long, it won't even stay. Okay, I got to put a piece of tape on it, or just get another Post-it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think to just get another Post-it and write the same thing. I just wanted the same little Post-it that said, "Just say yes." I kept that in front of me in my studios. Every time I put up a studio, I put my little Post-it that would fall down. Just say yes, Post-it, put it back up. But I have to remind myself, when I was booking myself and I was managing myself, you get those calls and you get that one thing that kind of makes you uncomfortable. Someone's asking, get that offer that makes you a little uncomfortable. There's a challenge happening here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say yes. Right? And your mind's trying to figure out, okay, well, how am I going to get there? Oh, that's going to be a huge flight. And and then I've got to have someone to pick me up, and then just say yes. And it all works out every single time. You may get a little bit of something happened where your Uber driver picked up somebody else, okay, so that happened.
Sure.
You have that, okay, well, we get around that. We're good. Yeah. Call somebody else. It's just really about just going with it. Just go with it. I have a friend, when I call her and we get a chance to talk, and I love it when she says it. And I'll ask her, what you doing, girl? And she'll say, I'm in the flow. Love that.
I do. I love that.
I'm just in the flow.
I'm in the flow. I'm going to steal that. I think I'm going to steal that. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Just,
That's awesome.
You can visualize it,
Yeah, I get it. I totally even get what that means. Yeah, I'm in the flow.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah.
What else is there?
That's it. That's awesome. Wow, Ruthie, these are such great stories. Listen, is there anything that we haven't discussed, or something that I'm supposed to mention, or I don't want to forget anything here before we have to go? I just want to make sure. Anything that you wanted to talk about or anything?
No, you mentioned the album. That was almost missed that one.
I wrote it down. I did have it here in case it didn't come up. So
that was. I think that was. Yeah, that's what's going on with my flow. Just kind of and writing for a new record.
Yeah, that's right. That's exciting. Your fans are going to be super excited to hear about all this stuff. These fresh ideas, right? This exciting projects. That's exciting, actually. Yeah, that's
it.
Nice. Well, that's great. Well, Ruthie, this has been, I can't tell you how awesome this has been. This has been such a great conversation. I've just so truly enjoyed this. It's going to be such a great episode.
This is a great way to have my coffee. Thank you.
Right.
I got through the whole cup.
I love that. That's perfect. Well, look, now it's time for a refill. You can get back to the flow, whatever you got to do.
Yes.
YouTube video, something, cooking, something will come up. So
I'll start with a cup of coffee, and I may take a walk, but that's what's on my agenda today.
That sounds perfect. Well, yeah. Again, thank you so much, Ruthie. I really do appreciate your time. I wish you the best through the holidays here, and definitely with your new project coming up, and just as a whole with you and your family, just staying safe through this time. I wish you guys the best, and your band members as well, for sure.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Safe, stay well, stay healthy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, Ruthie. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy that walk. And
Thank you.
yeah, we'll talk soon. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you, dear.
All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
The Lone Star Plate podcast is produced by Texas Real Food. Go to texasrealfood.com and you can search your city for stores, butchers, restaurants, farmers markets, and more who are using fresh, artisanal, organic sources. It's a fun site that brings all natural options all together. I hope you enjoyed this episode. For more information, go to thelonestarplate.com. I'm your host, Patrick Scott Armstrong. Until next time.